Cool. Well, really excited to have you guys back live from the nest. Really excited to have Mike Banuelos, our VP of Strategy. Mike, thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exciting times. Obviously, with the holidays kind of around the corner, they feel like they're around the corner at Hawke when you don't have to start buying presents yet, which is good. But we're preparing over here. So really excited to have you. If you wouldn't mind, just kind of catch everybody up to what you've been doing at Hawke. I know you've been here for a long time. Walk us through what you do here and how long you've been here.
Yeah. So I joined the squad in 2017.
Yep.
I was employee number 36. We're obviously now 150 people. So I started on the strategy team when there were 6 people. Ended up taking over that team within a year. And then within the last 2.5 years balance, scaled the team to 14 people, put in a lot of processes, put some hierarchy into the channel, and really just tried to make good on your outsourced CMO.
Yeah.
And that's what strategy is, to Hawke in general. And we really try to make good on that process or that promise for folks. So
yeah, absolutely. I've seen that really come into fruition in the time I've been here. I think a lot of people, as they see Hawke Media and they see your outsourced CMO, a lot of the times director of marketing, head of marketing, CMOs can get a little uneasy. I think that we've done a really great job as a company being that second set of eyes. So if you wouldn't mind, add a little bit color and context to how the outsourced CMO or how your team can add valuable insight or support to those head of marketing, directors of marketing, or that leadership marketing of an internal team.
Sure, yeah. And I mean, one thing to understand is that as an agency, the throughput that we have and the amount of brands that we see and the problems that we have to solve are way more than an in-house team. So we can append to any in-house team and pass those learnings along. I mean, we work with at any given time or any given month about 130 brands with disparate industries or verticals, different e-commerce problems, attribution issues, and those are all learnings that we understand and learn on a daily basis.
Yep.
And so, a director of marketing that may be a little insular or have an internal team that doesn't have access to best practices, it's an amazing value add to be able to say, hey, outsource CMO from Hawke, here's the problem that we're having. What have you guys done? What have you seen in this industry? And apply those learnings.
Yeah, it's been really helpful, and I love clients that come in. Obviously, we're easy to work with in the way that you can pick and choose what you need. But I think it's really awesome when brands come in and they don't necessarily think they need a strategist.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And then they come in and then they're just like, hey, let's do it anyways. And they'll come back. I'll get those emails 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, and they'll just be super thankful that they did because there's a lot of insight that your team is able to provide. So as we prepare for the holidays, there's from our emails, we see so many things happening, right? From preparation to planning and prepping. Talk to me about the opportunity that brands are seeing or have as the holidays approach and that holiday season, whether it be Black Friday or New Year's or beyond. Talk to me about, the opportunity that brands have as the holidays approach.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's a huge opportunity. I think last year, holiday spending was like $700 billion.
Yeah.
So consumers are primed to buy. And the reason it's such a big opportunity is you have to do it in the right way, in the right sequence to actually take hold of that opportunity.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is during that time, it's very, very crowded space. Consumers have ad blindness. Cost per impression goes way up. Cost per click goes way up. So what you really need to do is get in the game early.
Yep.
You need to have brand awareness early. You need to create retargeting pools early. You need to create email lists early. So the name of the game for holiday is getting started as early as possible.
Yep.
Some of the biggest brands in the world start as early as Q2, and most brands start in Q3. So it's really thinking about it in a pretty methodical and strategic way to understand, who you want to go after, what days you're actually going to be participating in. So whether it's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, if Christmas is a big holiday for your brand, New Year's, so a lot of New Year, New You type of stuff, or even like smaller holidays leading up to Black Friday is something that a lot of smaller direct-to-consumer brands utilize because they don't want to compete with the bigger players in the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and we see that all the time, right? I'm a pretty avid Instagram and Facebook buyer. I like to buy a lot of products from advertising, and I noticed that some of the brands that do it really effectively is they'll run a pre-sale campaign a month ahead of Black Friday to really drive up brand awareness, fill up that funnel on things like email and retargeting pools, like you mentioned. Talk to me about some of the best practices. Like, I'd love to have you kind of dig in on what those things are. You mentioned a little bit of email, you mentioned a little bit of Facebook advertising, but just dig in on some things that some brands can do to help prepare themselves for the holidays.
Sure, yeah, and it really depends on the vertical in the industry.
Yeah.
What your product is, what the life cycle is. But really the name of the game is when Black Friday, Cyber Monday come along, you don't want to be introducing your brand to people.
Yeah.
You don't want to be saying like, hey, like, here's this new product, you should buy it.
Yeah.
This needs to be like the fourth or fifth handshake.
Yeah.
I think the most recent statistic is the e-commerce funnel takes about 25 touch points for conversion.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to start early. So that's the biggest name of the game. If anybody takes anything away from this episode or this conversation, it's starting early in preparedness.
Yep.
So what that really means is shifting your budget. So a lot of times what we recommend is, even though it's scary and even though it's something that like seems somewhat counterintuitive, spending a ton for acquisition in August, September, even October to fill that top of funnel, because the ability to get in front of customers and create some brand awareness ahead of time is key. And you can do that in many different ways. So oftentimes just doing general acquisition campaigns, oftentimes lead capture campaigns work really well. Getting an email address from somebody is great, because then doing holiday tiered email campaigns is something that works quite well. But then really just making sure that we're capturing that traffic ahead of time, and then having a cogent plan through the holidays for what you're going to offer, when you're going to offer it, and making sure that those touch points are personalized. Like I said, there's so much noise during the holidays. Every brand is trying to compete for eyeballs. So the more personalized the content, the more personalized the ad, learning from previous touch points is how you can really start to build that relationship with people, so that when they're actually ready to purchase, early November, December, they remember your brand, they understand the touch points, and they want to make good on whatever promotion you're running.
Yeah, and so you drive that desire early on, right? You want that desire to already be there by the time the buying behavior gets here during the holidays, and that's a big opportunity. As far as tactics go, we mentioned a few right now. I'm curious to hear, what are your favorite, whether it's holidays or not, what are some of your favorite marketing tactics that have really developed since you've been here? I know, we talk about a lot of different opportunities, and we had a great episode with Daniel recently, but just talk to me about some of your favorite tactics that you like in marketing right now.
Yeah, one cool thing that we did for a boutique sunglasses firm, so they're a premium brand, right? And it comes with a premium price. They don't ever do sales. And so to create kind of this false scarcity for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, what we did is we gated the whole site. We shut down the whole site. And you had to enter your email address to get access to the sale. And so what that did is, one, create the scarcity. People are like, oh, wow, I have to get in there. They never do sales. And then two, they captured all these email addresses that they could use later on to increase lifetime value.
Wow.
So it was a pretty cool experiment. At first they were like, wait, what? We're going to shut down this site and make it so that people have to enter an email address to enter. But it ended up paying dividends, and we blew kind of their expectations out of the water in terms of sales.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that. What about in terms of just overall brand growth tactics, like things you're seeing? Obviously, you see brands of all different shapes and sizes, all different industries, all different types of goals. What do you see working as far as tactics right now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to understand for holidays is consumer behavior is very, very different, right? So people will start to look, they'll window shop, but they really won't purchase until right around Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or even Christmas. So really getting in front of people with gift guides, understanding what the products are, how they can either gift themselves or gift a family member. One of the biggest things that's happened in the last few years, I think it's like 78% of consumers say that they'll gift themselves. So trying to do campaigns where it's like treat yourself, stuff like that you wouldn't necessarily think of. But gift guides are huge, so that people can understand what they should give, when they should give it,
Yeah.
those type of things. Other brand building techniques that I think tend to really work, like I said, was personalization.
Yep.
People expect a personalized experience these days.
Yeah.
And so like every touch point should be in reference to the last touch point.
Yeah.
And then another huge thing that happened last year that's the most in any year that at least I've been at Hawke, and especially since I've been doing digital, is almost 50% of all purchases were made on a mobile phone.
Wow.
So if your mobile site is not optimized, if it's not optimized for conversion, if it's not easy to buy, you're going to lose out on a ton of customers.
Wow.
So that's just one thing that's like going to be very, very key this year,
Yeah.
is to make sure that your site is mobile optimized.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned some of the campaigns, but I love thinking about it, right? Like, as you get into Thanksgiving, like you can run those Thanksgiving campaigns, or you can run those Black Friday campaigns, or you can run those Cyber Monday campaigns.
Yep.
And that's different across your brand. And I think that a lot of those purchases that happen during that window are probably for yourself, right? Because Thanksgiving isn't a huge giving holiday, whereas Christmas, you've got all of those holidays that come in that period where there's a lot of gift giving happening.
Sure.
And then as you get into the New Year's, you've got the New Year, New Me campaigns. You've got the Hey, I want to start fresh. You've got all the health and wellness brands kind of coming around the corner.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about some of your favorite campaigns that we've run at Hawke throughout, whether it be any part of those holidays.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. We worked with a sous vide company, which is something that typically hasn't really launched in America. And
Yeah.
basically, it's putting poultry or some type of meat or even veggies into a water bath to cook the material, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it was a cool client. It's something that we haven't really worked with before. But we did a whole campaign about cooking for yourself in the new year and starting fresh and eating eating clean.
Yep.
And it was a great campaign because everybody is New Year's resolution, New Year, New You. What can I do? And we actually skipped the holidays completely. So what we did is we waited after Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then took advantage of when CPMs and CPCs went down a little bit at the end of December and filled the top of funnel then. So that's a perfect example of taking a look at your brand, what makes sense for the consumers that you're going after, and then really trying to optimize based on the product market fit and when people will actually utilize your brand, product, or service.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's really helpful. And just to kind of recap with people, if you wouldn't mind, just kind of do a short summary of what you think people from now until the end of the year should really be doing in a timeline basis to make the most out of the holidays.
Absolutely. So the biggest thing is understanding budgets, right? So you need to understand what you have from now until the end of the year and think about what your goals are, the sales and revenue density that you want to hit, and then build backwards based on historical data. If you have historical data as a company, use it.
Yep.
That's the whole reason digital works so well, is you can utilize the data that you've garnered in the past to predict future outcomes, right? And so take a look at what happened last year during holiday, see where you had the most traction, understand what channels work the best, and then create a plan. The biggest thing for holiday is to plan ahead. So you should be doing it now. You really need to think about the channels that you can get the cheapest acquisition, getting people to site, making sure that all the pixel events on your site are working, that you're building relevant retargeting pools, that you're building relevant remarketing pools, just making sure that whatever mousetraps you have on your site are working and that they're optimized. Once you start building those up, then you can start to tease out whatever it is you're going to be doing over the holidays. Or if you want to have a tiered strategy, doing it to where maybe it's some type of holiday or Halloween promotion, and then it's a pre-Black Friday promotion, then Black Friday, then Small Business Saturday, then Cyber Monday. But really understanding for each of those different holidays what the promotion is, what the outreach is, what target you're going to go after, and making sure that the touch points are meaningful. I think email during the holidays, volume of email rises by 35%.
I bet,
and so people get ad blindness. So just making sure that each of those touch points are very, very specific, they're useful, and they're tiered, right? So you want to make sure that people understand what they can get, when they can get it, and then create some scarcity. So in general, it's hard to say like here's exactly what you should be doing because every vertical and industry is a little bit different. But planning ahead and understanding who your target is and how you can actually convert that target over the course of the next 3 to 5 months is the best way to think about it.
Yeah, and I think one of the great takeaways from this for me is just creating that desire up front, because if you try to compete with everybody during those holidays, it's going to be really difficult. So you want people to know about your brand, like your brand, if possible, subscribe to your brand, right? Be on your email list, follow you on social. That way, when the holidays do hit, you're able to retarget them, hit them with an email, and most likely convert them there, as opposed to saving all of your advertising for that weekend.
Absolutely.
Right? So build up the audiences, build up that desire, and then try to convert with some great promotions.
Yeah, I mean, if you get started in November, you're losing.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Yeah,
because the costs skyrocket. I think the cost per click on Facebook increased like 120%. In November, December. Right. So like for a small business, that's almost untouchable. To try to reach the amount of people to garner the sales that you want to do. So as you were saying, you have to get in front of people early. You have to create that relationship, that link, and then go after them, because people will window shop. It's scary. It's scary. You have to like trust the process a little bit. August, September, no purchases or very little purchases. Even November, but then once you actually get the plan in action and get back in front of those people with the retargeting pool, with tiered emails, whatever it is, then you can really start to see some of the fruition of what you've done in the past 3 months. So be patient. Yeah, because you want to pay that cost per click, that CPM now. Absolutely. Because you're going to give them some sort of promotion, right? If you're going to convert during the holidays, there's going to be some sort of promotion, whether it's 10%, 20%, buy one, get one free, free shipping. There's a million of them that we know of. Right. So if you're going to be paying twice for the click and you're getting less money, you're going to be shooting yourself, Yeah, that's why wish lists are so important, right? Yeah. Or gift guides, because if you give people the ability to like bookmark things or create a wish list, then they remember, right? And then I've also seen something that's pretty interesting is like an empty your cart campaign. So it's like an email campaign, so that when people come to site, put things in cart, it's kind of like abandoned cart, but for email, it's like, for holidays, it's like, no, empty your cart. Yeah. There's a holidays and promotions, like this is the time, like empty your cart campaign. So it's just another interesting way to like get people to think about it in a very different way. Well, awesome, man. I appreciate you coming in. Really excited to have you for the holidays. It's going to be a crazy time around here through the end of the year, as it always is. Fun. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Well, thank you so much for coming. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll talk to you soon. Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, man.